Bolt. Blessings for your time, sir. A lot of love in the room for you this evening. A lot of money spent. You must be happy with that.
Yeah, I'm definitely happy. You know, what I mean, it's for cause that I hold dearly to my heart, to the Racial Track Club. I've always done everything possible to promote and to show love. So I'm happy that everybody came out and really support and really dip into their pockets to really help. And thanks Jane for putting on. It was a great honor.
Talk to me a little about being a part of Racist Track Club over the years. One thing I've never really known is how you found Racist Track Club.
For me, my coach actually found the Racist Track Club. When I actually got there, he was saying, this is what I wanted to start. And that's how we really got into it. You know, I mean, Coach Mills had a dream to build one of the most successful clubs, which produced champions, and that's what he did. So for me, I just happened to just stumble upon it by wanting Glen Mills to coach me, and that's when it all started.
You mentioned Glen Mills downstairs and the impact he's had on your career, and others as well, starting his way back as 2003 with Kim Collins. Back then, when you was watching all these athletes come through, how much did they motivate and inspire you?
For me, as a young youth, I used to watch. I used to have my own role models, Michael Johnson, Donald Quarry, Herb McKinley, and all these guys. These were the guys that I want to be like, you know what I mean? Because I was a more mid to over distance runner, like 400 and 200 meters. So for me, coming through the ranks, it was a great feeling to be able to be amongst them at a younger age, to see and to learn and to be experienced. So for me, it was a big part.
You also mentioned the fact that Coach Glen Mills wouldn't train Wallace Spearman.
Yeah.
Over the years, I've seen you guys, the bromance you have, if I can call it that. There's a lot of banter between you two. When did that start and how did that formulate? Because it's not something you see regularly.
For me, we came onto the scene pretty much at the same time. I think 2005, that's when it really started. And then I remember I said one time, it was in Sheffield in London. We were supposed to compete against each other, and he fell asleep at the track, and I was warming up and I didn't see him, and before I woke him up to run, and he actually beat me at that minute. So from then on, he really became close friends, just out of mutual respect and so.
You mentioned that you were competing in the crowds once you hang up the spikes. Talk to me, is there an unusual story from any of the places that you've travelled all over the world that you haven't spoken about? Because I know you speak a lot at press conferences and you're asked a similar question pretty much wherever you go. But I haven't heard you talk about some of the more unusual things that have happened.
You have to sit down and gather them and think of which one would make a lot of sense to talk about, you know what I mean? But for me, it's always with the fans, just the energy and what they give you. When you get to the airport, people always sit and wait. Sometimes I've had fans that sit outside the hotel for like days, not even just like the guys who try to get your autographs to put on the net, but a true fan that just wants just one picture, you know what I mean? And those are the moments that you will miss and I will cherish for all my life.
You always say you love competing here in the UK. It all ends in terms of major championships here in London. Talk to me about the crowds and just kind of the love that you've been afforded over the years here.
I mean, there's no word to describe how much energy I get when I come here. You know what I mean? It's always something massive, and I know this championship will be no different. You know what I mean? And I'm excited about that because I know when I come out and I step on that track, the vibe and the energy they will give me will makes me miss even the sports even more. You know what I mean? So I'm excited about that, and I'm looking forward to it.
You gonna win?
Always, without a doubt. Stupid question.
Yeah, I have a question for Coach Mills. How difficult was it to get this guy to be the Super World champion that he is today?
It wasn't difficult. Once I was able to get him to understand what it takes to be a professional in sports, I think things began to come together and it ran pretty smoothly. I mean, we have had some rough times with injuries and that sort of thing, but by and large, it's been a pretty smooth and, I'd say, entertaining and rewarding.
There's a lot of love in the room downstairs for you particularly, and I think people really saw a different side to your character when the documentary came out, which I was appreciative of. But I want to know, did you know you were loved in the way that you were, and How come you're so funny? We never knew.
Well, I don't know. It's just natural. I know that my athletes, they love me very much because of the work we put in and the relationship. And I mean, Usain is at the top of the heap. Always taking care of me, watching my back, etc. But I realize that it's wider. The fans and so on is far more endearing. And over the last couple of years, I realized that there's a strong support and love for me out there, which is appreciated. It's not often the coach get that kind, because if you lose, it's the coach's fault. If you win, it's the athlete that is good. So, hey, I take all that I can.
I think people know that you played a large part in it. You've been doing this for a long time. This athlete next to you represents the best that a generation's ever seen, and a lot of people I've spoken to this evening have said they're never probably going to see anything like that again. As far as coaching is concerned, do you think you'll coach anybody who's as talented as Usain again?
Well, it's a tall order, but only the good Lord know the future. But Usain is the best by far. I mean, his talent is unbelievable. If I have any regrets, is that I don't think the world has seen the best of him.
So he shouldn't retire then?
Yeah, I agree with him to retire, but in his young formative years,
what could he have done better, just out of interest?
well,
I've done better, coach.
well, he can run much faster, and he should be holding all 3 world records, 1, 2, and 4. So.
Oh, he never did the 4. Last question from me. Tonight, what were your thoughts on how it went downstairs? Did you expect to receive that kind of love? Did you think it was the type of event you was gonna turn up to today?
Well, we expected a good reception, but this was great. So I would say it superseded what I was thinking, and I really appreciate this evening, and the enthusiasm and generosity and love that was displayed in that room was fantastic.
Thanks for your time.
Crystal, one question.
Hi, Usain. Hi, Mr. Honorable Coach Glen Mills. Nice to meet you both. With regards to the style and fashion and manner in which you won your races, from your perspective, who is the next face of athletics?
Coach. Yeah. Well, no, that's more suitable for the coach. It's the next phase.
Who is the next face of athletics, Coach?
I really don't know, but I know somebody will emerge once Usain leave the stage. It leaves the door open for a new champion to take center stage. And the performance and the public will judge who is the next face of athletics.
Devon, question.
Coach Mills, massive respect to you for all you've done. I watched the Bolt DVD, but my son made me ask a question of Usain because he won his sports day at school just 2 days ago. He's 11 now, and he wanted me to ask you, who inspires you to be the kind of sportsman you are? We see Federer today done an amazing record. We see Lewis Hamilton. These guys say they do things off the arena. What's your secret skill away from athletics, and are you going to employ it? Because I spoke to your friend Chris Martin, the reggae singer, and he said Usain can do some things. So what are you going to do when you retire now?
There's so many directions that I could go in. I try not to stress myself about that at this moment, but I could go into TV. People always says I could go into acting also. I could be an analyst. I've always wanted to be a soccer player. There's so many ways but I don't know exactly what I really want to commit myself to. So I'm leaving the door open. Me and my team will sit down and we'll figure out which direction, the best direction for me to go in when I hang up my spikes.
My son's going to be the next one you're going to coach. He's good. He's good.
Congrats.
Thank you, guys.
All right.